Hi and welcome to SME Time. I'm Steve Randall. If, like me, you're the owner of a small or medium-sized business, this is the podcast for you. Each episode will fit into the category of interesting or unusual, or hopefully both. I'll aim to bring you guests who can make your life a little easier, takeaways that you can use in your business straight away, and inspirational stories from across the UK's SME community. And if you've got a story to share, please get in touch. Just go to smetime.uk. My guest today is talking about clothes. Yeah, we all have to wear them, whether we're doing a Zoom call or meeting people face to face. But the clothes we wear do reflect our personality, our personal brand, our business. And it can be a real pain in the backside having to decide what to wear. Kerrie Ellis has spent 15 years as an advanced stylist and corporate image consultant. She's helped hundreds of men and women to think about their image and learn how to present themselves to show off the real them. Kerrie, welcome to SME Time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me to be here.
The ONS, who are responsible for putting together the inflation figures, and they have a basket of items that they use to do that, they've taken men's suits out of that basket of items for the first time since 1947. And this is all because the last couple of years, working from home, hybrid working and things has changed what we wear for work. Have you seen that?
Definitely. I think it actually was starting even before the whole pandemic. The whole workplace, in terms of corporate workplace, was starting to get a little less formal in terms of work style, if you like. But I think it has been exacerbated most certainly from the whole, we're working at home. We don't necessarily need to be suited and booted as we used to be. So people are wearing slightly more casual clothing. Some people are wearing very casual clothing. And we can talk about what that might mean. But I can understand their decision to take the suit out and replace it with the blazer or the jacket, which is far more likely to be in most people's work wardrobes these days.
Now, you said we can talk about particular items. I'm going to come straight in there with, are jeans acceptable in the workplace?
So I think it depends where you work and it depends on the personal brand you're trying to put across, etc. So, for example, if you are in a creative industry, marketing, advertising, that kind of thing, then jeans are almost like a staple for people that work in those sorts of industries. And they might put them with a shirt or a T-shirt, or it might even be even more relaxed than that, and they might be in hoodies and things like that. So I think you need to think about, number one, what industry are you working within? Where do your clients come from? And also, what personal brand are you trying to put across? Because all of those things need answering before you then think about the items that are going to be in your wardrobe.
On your website, it says some people enjoy getting dressed for work each morning. For others, it's a chore. But the clothes you wear play an important role, not only in communicating who you are and what makes you different, your personal brand, but they can also help you to look and feel more confident and vibrant too. So they play two very, very important roles. One's that outward-facing thing and one's how you feel inside.
100%. So I don't know if you're familiar with Malcolm Gladwell and his book Blink. Yes. So excellent book. I'd highly recommend people to read that one. But he talks about how we're hardwired to think without thinking. So we do make those snap judgments. So that's why the outside piece is so important. But honestly, the reason I kind of got into doing this 16 years ago is because of how it makes people feel inside. So it can increase confidence massively if what you put on in the morning every single day, and it is something we have to do every single day, get up and get dressed. If you put something on that helps you to feel confident, then that comes across when you meet people, talk to people, etc. So for me, it's the inside and the outside piece that matter. It's both things, and helping people to think about, how they want to come across, and then give them ideas about how to put a wardrobe together that really works and actually make it easy. So I'm all about making it easy for people. So, I do not like cooking. I can't be bothered to spend time in the kitchen. So I outsource that to one of these lovely meal box delivery services that does it all for me. So it frees up my, headspace, I guess, in terms of not needing to think about food. And I kind of try and do the same for people's wardrobes. So if clothes aren't your thing, ask someone whose thing it is to help you, an image consultant or a stylist. They can help you put together a really easy wardrobe, capture your wardrobe if you like the expression. So a few things that mix and match that work for the way you spend your time, what you're doing, your lifestyle, etc. That's kind of what I believe. So it's all about outward, yes, inside, yes, and also then making it easy for people.
Yeah, I love that. I love the whole thing of making things simple while having the clothes that make you feel good, but also the clothes that are going to make you look the best that you can. So the right colours for your tone, your skin tone, your eye colour, hair colour, whatever that may be, and your shape. And also kind of reflecting your personal brand and perhaps your wider brand as well. And to that end, I mean, I've adopted, and this, I suppose this has come about through, being able to work from home exclusively during the pandemic, but I've adopted the Steve Jobs way of dressing. If anyone's not familiar with this, if you just Google Steve Jobs, he, of course, the founder of Apple, no longer with us, but, inspirational in many ways. If you look at a Google search of Steve Jobs, with very few exceptions, and you will have to look very hard if you want to find the exceptions, he is wearing a black top, largely a polo neck, and usually paired with jeans. And he wore that every single day. And that then means that's one less decision you have to make.
Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, and for a lot of people, that will be their go-to. They'll find something they feel comfortable in. I would argue perhaps a bit more colourful might be more useful to lots of people, because black is actually quite a hard colour for lots of people to wear. But that's going to the nitty-gritties of colour and things like that. But the idea of making it simple and making sure that your clothes work for you, and if clothes isn't your thing, really making it simple by having almost a uniform, if you like. It doesn't have to be as samey as perhaps Steve Jobs, but you can definitely replicate that kind of idea in your wardrobe. This doesn't have to be hard. And if you go into the whole environmental impact of clothes production as well, I really believe that we should have sustainable wardrobes so we're not damaging the environment at the same time, and making it easy is one way you can do that. So have fewer clothes, but ones that work for you, that you can literally get up in the morning, put them on, and they're sending out the message you want other people to be taking from you, if you like, when they meet you, whether that's online or in person. And then also thinking about that mindset piece as well. So how does it make you feel when you wear those items of clothes?
When somebody sees you for the first time, how important, either consciously or subconsciously, is what you're wearing? How much of that are they going to pick up on?
The stat that's bounded around, and actually I argue it's even quicker than this, but people would make an assumption about you within about 7 seconds. There's some article that's just come out saying 0.01 of a second people have read into what they see, and then what they hear as well. So you'll know this, being in the podcasting world, we take more out of that, the first thing we see, and then we think about what we hear. So it does make a big difference. And whether it's people seeing you in person or on social media and things like that, the average is that most people will see about 1,000 people a day. And our brain can't cope with all of that. We can't see lots and lots of people. So we have to make sense of it. And one way we make sense of it is visually seeing what they look like. Do they look like, I don't know, if you're looking for a lawyer or something, does someone present as if they could be a lawyer? And you'll discount people or put them in your yes, please pot, depending on what you see. And then you'll look into it a bit further. So it makes a massive difference in terms of that initial snap judgment that we make subconsciously. This isn't people looking you up and down, taking in every little bit. It's a snap judgment that we're making subconsciously. We're not thinking about it. That's why there are programs, like The Voice, where we get people to just listen to the voice and not look at the person, because we know that we take in visual clues as much as we do in terms of listening.
The interesting thing, you mentioned Steve Jobs' look was, yes, okay, it was uniform. It obviously worked for him. He didn't do too badly out of that look.
True, yeah.
but yes, in many ways, kind of a dull, and you said black can be quite a hard look. But then people may think, to make a real impact, I need to be a bit more flamboyant, and go down the whole Christopher Biggins route. But but it's nuanced, this, isn't it? And as you've highlighted a couple of times, it's really important that it's the right look for what people's perceptions maybe are of certain job types or certain personality types.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a bit about being true to yourself. So I'm 100%, big believer in dressing for you. If I talk to people about colours and styles, it's about the colours and styles that work for them. If there's a colour they particularly like that isn't necessarily the best for their colouring palette, it will work a way of working it for them, if you like. So it's about dressing for you, and then it's about dressing for the role that you're in. So thinking about what people would perceive or what they would take away from the way you look, and thinking about how you want to come across. So if you do want to look very creative, then yes, maybe not Christopher Biggins, maybe, but a little bit of creativeness in what you choose to wear would be good. I mean, I'm sat here, I know you can't see me because this is not visual, but I have some gold leaf earrings in, and they're quite making a bit of a statement because that's what I like to wear. So that's me and my personality, and I'm a stylist, and you might expect me to have accessories that speak, something about my brand. And I've just been on a Zoom call, so it was important to think about that sort of, keyboard dressing from the waist upwards. So it's all about, yes, your lifestyle, your personality, your job role, what people might expect of people like you if they're going to engage with you, and then sort of layering all of that together to create the personal brand. So you've got a few words that sort of sum you up, and then you can think about your wardrobe and almost, go through the wardrobe and say, does it tick those adjectives? So if I want to look creative, does this item of clothing in front of me give a creative vibe or not? And if it doesn't, then that's something maybe for the weekend wear rather than your, Monday to Friday or workwear. So it's about going through the wardrobe and making sure that it's working for you. And then, like I say, layering on the easy piece. So making it easy to have it all organised in a way that works for you so you can get up and get going and, get on with your day, really.
Angela Rayner was deputising for Keir Starmer at Prime Minister's Questions in the House of Commons recently. And in one shot, I noticed she was wearing Doc Martens. And I thought that absolutely works for her personality.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the point, isn't it? The other one that people used to sort of say to me was about Theresa May, and she used to have, kitten heels with animal print on and things like that. People take in all of those little things that you think perhaps shouldn't matter or we don't notice, but we do notice. And you're right, that's absolutely right for Angela's brand. That's who she is. She's a bit different, isn't she? And she's expressing that in the way that she wears her clothes, but she also wears clothes that are, they work for her as in her role in government. So she's not formally dressed as such, but she's thought about what she's wearing, and then she's added the boots and things like that to sort of put across her personality as well. So it's all about the thought that goes behind it. And there's no sort of, you can't do this and you can't do the other. It's about thinking about it and making it work for you and, who you are and how you want to come across to other people.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought, she's wearing those, and going back to your point of it has to kind of empower you in a high-profile situation like that. If the Doc Martens made her feel the powerful that she needed to feel in that situation, then absolutely that's the right way to go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kerrie, I think this is great, and I think, if people are considering this and thinking, well, okay, this is going to cost me some money, but actually you get the return on investment because you're putting the money in there to get the look that is right for you and is going to work for you time and time again. And I would liken it perhaps to somebody who pays for a professional website design. Yeah. It's done. It's the right look for the business, for the brand. And once it's done, you're kind of there with it and you know exactly where you're going and it's consistent and it's going to work for you time and time again. So how can people get in touch with you to find out more about what you do?
So my website is www.kerrieellis.co.uk. Annoyingly, I married a man who has an E with the surname Ellis. So it's Kerrie, Kerrie, and then Ellis again. So lots of double vowels in there. So kerrieellis.co.uk. Or my email address is kerrie@kerrieellis.co.uk. And I love talking to people. So please do get in touch if you're in a business and you want to think about your business brand. I love helping people with their business brand because it is as important as the shop face, which is the website these days. Please do get in touch or have a look on my website. I've done lots of videos and blogs and things like that. So if there's anything I can help you with, you might find lots of resources there as well.
And what's the one item, maybe one for men, one for women, that is kind of the one for 2022?
I don't think there's a one. Do you know what I would say? I think because we're spending an awful lot of time on Zoom, I would think about what you're wearing on your top half. So whether it's the shirt for the man or the polo shirt or the T-shirt, whatever it might be, or for the women, a blouse or, whatever top it might be that you're wearing, think about that because when you're on these little screens and you're only, about 3 centimetres by 3 centimetres box on these things, that's what people notice. So think about the colours you're wearing. Colour does make you stand out. So don't always think navy, black, etc. Think about the colour you're wearing and think about tops. So that would be my advice. Think about, anything waist above.
Yeah, and for hybrid work as well, I can imagine we could have a whole conversation about that. The one thing I would immediately throw in there, if you're a hybrid worker, when you actually go into your workplace, slippers are probably not the option there. It's going to be easy to do.
It could be very easy to do, actually. That's very true. We're so used to being comfortable at home, aren't we? So no, definitely you need a pair of shoes on your feet. That would be good.
Kerrie, great to speak to you.
Thanks very much. Thanks for inviting me on. Thank you.
My thanks to Kerrie Ellis, and you can find her details in the show notes. There'll be another episode of SME Time soon, so if you want to get it automatically using your favourite podcast app, just click follow or subscribe. And if you've got ideas for guests that you'd like to hear on the show, topics you'd like me to cover, then again, get in touch. You'll find the details in the show notes or visit smetime.uk. Oh, and if you can share this with others who you think might find it interesting too, that would be great. We all need a bit of SME time.